In the last video, I've covered the MVC topic, right? We are covering the MVC topic. As you know, we have discussed the main structure, which is models, views, and controller. And in the previous video, I have completed the model and the view part. The only part left is the controller part, and I think it's like, as I told you, it's just connects between like views and model, right? So that's very simple. So we have so many options of making controller. In this video I will just give you what controller really is, not going to the integrity of like how it works, what is like, what are the types, how you can include in your projects and stuff. So basically this video will give you idea of controller. So what basically controllers is, how they are used, and why they are used. So these are the basic questions we are going to answer this question. So let's get started. So for that I have added one dependency, which is get dependency. You don't have to follow me in this part because it's a little bit difficult, so just go along. I will be explaining the GetX completely in the separate video. It will be a long video, so just skip the part for that. Just understand the concept of controller right now, right? So in your lib you can see we have created models and view. All we have left is creating a folder of a controller. Let's create a folder for the controllers, right? So in models we have our model, in view we have our view, and then now finally we'll create our controller. So controller, we can name it according to our needs. So right now we are using the controller on a home screen, so let's name it home controller. Let's say you can also make it start controller if you are controlling on the data controller or something. Okay, so how we can create a controller? So firstly you have to create a class. Okay, let's give it a class name. So let's get home controller, always use the casing. And then for the using the GetX, to I show you like just use the extends. Extends is as a, it's like getting the classes property from the GetX, right? So we are extending our this class with the GetxController class and getting all the parameters and methods from the GetxController class to the home controller. This is called inheritance. So in the basic coding skills, it's inheritance, right? Like basically what inheritance is, like if you have a class A, right? Let's make class A, and class A has properties, right? Or methods. Let's say call A, right? So that's the method he has. And if you create a class B and extends to class A, then you can access the call A function. Okay, so that's basically extend. So you can inherit the properties from class A to the class B using the extends. That's like childlike structure. It's like you have inherit your parents' genes, right? So that's what class inheritance is. Okay, so now what we are using on the home screen, we have so many things. Let's clear it up. We have our list style data. So as I told you, I will coincide the data. We'll just get it over here and we create a list of tile, get the model here and get it. So here's our data. So now you will see how you can access this data here. So the simplest way is get this controller. So to get the controller, you will be going home screen controller, home controller. We just give the variable name, and we will use a command which is get dot put. It's like getx command, so you don't have to mug up this right now. I'll show you how this works. Okay, so now we have our home controller and we can just do the dot and we can access the data. Nice, easy, right? Everywhere we using tile data, just remove and change it to tile data. Cool. This is what I mess. It's telling. Okay. So basically it's telling it's not declared into the function. So we can just home controller get dot find, and the find will just use the home controller. Now we can use it prefix component can be used here. Okay. Oh god. So basically what happened is something else. It's this time later, right? So never replace your things, just do it manually. It's my mistake. I understand the problem. You might not understand it. If I can figure out what happens. It's okay. So our clean is clean and shit, and you can see how we're running this too. Okay, so what we have in the structural part, you will say, okay, it's not a big deal, but using that, what you can achieve fundamentally is you can remove all those variables. Okay, and just, I think we're not using this value, right? Yeah, we don't. You can remove all these variables. So let's remove this too, and we go to our home controller, we create our get the material class. Here we go. We don't have any variable over here, and I think class controller. So just you have to add home controller dot. Look at this. So that's okay. So yeah, we will do it everywhere. It's an edit controller. Now moving for the edit controller. Text, submit, and we're done. You can see how much we have reduced our variables, right? Okay, so we can just remove this too, I think. Yeah, because we have already put it. We got the instance of a class, and now you can see our code is a little bit more clear. Okay, so what we are left with is this padding, custom pass. We can point size it and make it a class too. So if I just create a widget around it, it will be like not in this page, right? Let's do the part 2. Let's make it a widget. Extra widget, custom app bar, boom, and let's make this guy a widget too. Okay, it required something. It's this controller, yeah, I guess. So let's give him the controller too. Let's give him the controller. Get dot find. Let's don't use every time, like you don't have to use that. Just do the find thing once you fill your instances. Okay. It requires like so you can achieve that. It's not that hard. You can create it. Okay. It requires a preference because you have to define the clear class. Okay. So that's the thing. That's the controller for you. So now you can see our files. Ignore this file stuff. So you have just controllers, models, and view, which is MVC, right? And which is what we are studying. So this is the model, which is schema, views, that is structure, and controller is the connector. So now if you can see, we have our schema ready. It's our data schema. Then we have our views, which is our UI part, and we don't have any data over here or any model references over here. So we use the controller to get the model reference and the data into it. So usually what's gonna happen, you will call a function over here. You will create a function in this, which will be get data, which will be an API call or something, and you will have the list data. Okay, yeah, of course, an empty list, and after that you will just go with this. Okay, so now you will see our data is empty. So if you just refresh it. Okay, just refresh it. Yeah, you can see we have no task here. So to get the usually case, what will happen is we will call get data. So for that we will go to our home screen, As this is our stateful widget, we can call an init function in it, or either, yeah, there's a smart way for doing that. Every time a controller is called, you can either use init, which will be called on an initialization of the screen. Either you go to the controller, you like to on it, it is a on init, something like that. Yeah, let me find it for you. On init, something like that. Something that you can call, right? So just forget the part. I'll just add in this initialization in its state, go call just on controller dot boom get data. This is, and as soon as you do that, the data will be loaded in this part and you get the data, right? So if you have some delay, you can add the API delay over here, you can check for it, you can wait for it. So that's what it is. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.